Yo, what is up, everyone? My name is Francis, and the first step to admitting you have a problem is admitting you have a problem. The first step to knowing you have a problem is admitting it. I have a problem with video games. No, I'm joking. We're waiting on Mizzah Tee. Between shooting World of Warcraft videos and watching the A-Team old replays, sometimes he just gets busy. So that's life. I can see here that I have 0 viewers, so I'm talking to no one at the moment. But he did say it's going to take around 5 minutes or so for him to get on and have a discussion with us about various things. So I just decided that I would talk about stuff. So I think this would be a good time to, especially if you're watching this on replay, after it's been posted, this is a good time for you guys to check out the PE Network partners. So I've been checking out this guy named 0xz2. You guys ever heard of 0xz2? Hey, he's a pretty good YouTuber. He does a lot of cool stuff. He's on Twitch. You can check out his Twitch. Just type in 0xz2. You can check out, and by the way, nobody's watching, but just in case, like, my daughter might come busting in at some point. She always does. That's her thing. That's what she likes to do. She likes to bust into my room and start trouble. So that might happen. But in the meantime, 0xz2, check out his channel. He's on Twitch. You can go over there, follow him, subscribe to him on YouTube. He's a reviewer. He's pretty much a reviewer. He kind of does like comedy sketches. He talks to girls, So subscribe to his channel. Also, we have Mizzah Tee, the guy who hates me at this point. You can subscribe to his channel, and you can find out why Devil's Third was given a pass. He's nearly at 2,500 subscribers, so let's get him there. Go subscribe. We have Zen Gamer. He's currently complaining about Nintendo. He's currently complaining about Scott Moffat, so you can check out his latest video about him complaining about Scott Moffat doing what highly paid PR people are paid to do. So yeah, check out Zen Gamer's channel. He has 2 channels. One of them is called Logic Gaming. That one's on hiatus at this point because of something that happened. And then he also has a Zen Gamer channel, which is picking up steam. I think he has over 300 subscribers now. So I know what it's like to go from one channel to another after you've built up, thousands of subscribers. It sucks, but he's doing it. So show him some love. Go subscribe to his second channel, Zen Gamer. Look it up, from Reboot Gaming. Then we also have Terminator Juice. Check out Terminator Juice's channel. He runs. What's cool about Terminator Juice is that he's mainly a podcaster, and he does The Juice is Loose series. And that's where you can participate in Mario Kart 8 tournaments is it Monday, or I don't know when he does them, but you can participate in the Mario Kart 8 tournaments. And yeah, if he needs to put some prizes on there, or maybe Mario Kart is too random for prizes. But if he did, I think I might participate. But then again, I hate Mario Kart at this point. Like, I suck so bad at Mario Kart. And I think it's because I hate luck. I hate luck, and my luck is not – my luck is good. I would say that I've had good luck in life. But when it comes to Mario Kart, my luck is not – it's not where I want it to be. So that's why I don't like playing Mario Kart. I like Smash Bros, though. But then I hate items, and items are kind of luck. So, yeah, I don't mind items. Like, I used to love playing with items back in the day. But when I actually figured out how to play Smash Bros, and when I actually started getting inspired to be good at Smash Bros, I figured out, I was like, man, items really mess you up from actually getting good at Smash Bros. That's what I've noticed. Like, and here's the reason why. Because when you rely on items, like, it's almost become like, it's like secondary. Like, when you play Smash Bros, if you're used to playing with items, you rely on items to get kills. Like you rely on them. You're like, okay, well, you know, when this item drops, I'm gonna run over there, grab this item. Oh, I'm gonna go do this. Like, and that becomes what you do to beat people. You know, when I was in college, we did that in Melee all the time. Like, I would rarely beat people by just being better than them and kill them. I would grab a bomb, I would grab a star, and I'd blow them up, and that's how I killed people. And I didn't realize how bad I was in Smash Bros. Even in Brawl. In Brawl, I started saying, okay, items, but no items. Like in Brawl, I started saying, okay, no items. I'm going to just start fighting people. And I thought I was good. All I did was spam smash attacks with Wolf. That's all I did. I didn't realize I was trash. Well, yeah, I was trash. And then when Smash 4 came out, that's when I actually started watching competitive play. And then I was like, I'm done with items forever. Like, I'm not going to use them. And I understand people use it for fun. That's cool. You know, I'm all down for fun, you know, and people who like to do that, that's cool. But like for me, you know, I think I'm going to Paragon. I think I'll be competing in Paragon, and I've been playing like a lot of For Glory, been trying to find good players and stuff, good connections. So, you know, you actually learn how to be good at the game, the real triangle, you know, and the game is built on a triangle. Here comes my daughter busting in. I told you she's just gonna bust in when she feels like it. The game is built on a triangle. It's built, you know, grabs beat block, block beats attack, attack beats grab. You know, it's like it's built on that triangle. And when you have the items, it really just screws up that triangle because item is item. You know, so I really worked on my fundamentals and learning, you know, and the thing about it is in what the cool thing about Smash Bros is, or what's cool about Smash Bros is that when you really get the fundamentals down, you can pick up a lot of different characters and instantly start winning, especially online, like in one-on-one matches. When you get the fundamentals down of what you can do, what you can't do, like I'm not a Peach player, but I guarantee you I can beat most people on For Glory with Peach just based on fundamentals, not knowing all of her setups or her combos, but just based on fundamentals, just not doing the stupid things. So, you know, that's really I think Smash Bros is like the only game I play on Wii U. It's like that's all I play is Smash Bros. Like it's so funny because I actually picked up like Dragon Age, and I picked up The Witcher, and I picked up Batman, and I picked up Splatoon, and I picked up all these games, and still I just play Smash Bros. Oh my gosh, who is this in here?
What the hell going on, folks?
Okay.
Leave it to Francis of PlayerSS.com to send me a link in my Twitter and send me messages in the damn Google Hangouts. What's going on?
I don't know. Mizzah Tee, how you doing today?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
You know what? So I want to understand what this is going from, because really this argument started when I said that the A Team wasn't that good of a show. I said the A Team was a C Team type show, and you got pretty mad at me. So I mean,
them fighting words right there. Them fighting.
I said the A Team was trash, and Mizzah Tee said, "Well, folks, no worries."
Man.
No, let's get down to what we're going to be discussing today, and just to let you guys know, Mizzah Tee does hate me. Okay,
yeah, so dude. I'm gonna take you down now.
He said he's gonna destroy me. I'm scared. I'm actually a little worried that I'm gonna get exposed here. I'm gonna be on somebody's channel dancing exposed. I
recall reading a post where you said you're gonna slap me in the face. You don't smack a man in the face. That's just
no. I said that we're gonna do this like gentlemen do. Like remember like the old school ones.
Oh yeah, you got a glove or something.
Like the cartoons, they used to take off the glove and then just smack the dude in the face, like like the knights. You don't remember that?
Yeah, like of course you know now. This means war.
You don't remember that? Okay, I'm gonna have to send you a link later. It's like in Tom and Jerry and stuff.
Yeah, I remember that.
I can't hear you.
I can hear you, fools.
Okay, so yeah, that's what that was from. It wasn't. I didn't really mean I'm gonna smack your plastic face. That would be rude.
I got the excuse me. I got the adamantium plastic face.
All right, so
my plastic black don't crack.
Plastic black don't. I know Michael Jackson, man. It's all about that. what are we going to be discussing? Because I think you said that you had, and a lot of my subscribers have also had some issues with some of my recent videos, despite me loving Nintendo so much and doing so much Nintendo love. A lot of you guys hate me at this point. So what is your biggest concern with what I've done lately?
That's a strong word. Like, I've never like completely disagreed with you. You know, there's just certain little things that you'll say that
So
I don't
let's talk about that, because you're not the only one. There was lots of people that were, you know, I wouldn't say lots, but there was definitely a significant amount, enough for me to have this video, that disagree with certain stuff that I've said. So which exactly what stuff is it that you've had a little bit of cause for concern?
Okay, well, let's start with I guess the most recent one you did on RPGs and
Yes.
the lack thereof on Wii U. No denying that. I mean, they're not there.
No, they're not.
Well,
I said first party, you know, from Nintendo.
Right, from Nintendo.
Yeah.
And that's where my issue came, because you, in the same video, you were talking about, Sony and Microsoft's consoles and the RPGs on those. And those aren't Sony and Microsoft RPGs. And my thing was that you were holding Nintendo to a different standard when these guys basically get a pass for games that, you know, they don't make. They get credit for games they don't make. Now, granted, look, we all agree that Wii U and Nintendo consoles in the last three, I guess, right? Three, GameCube, Wii U, N64 as well. So four then have lacked third party. And
yeah,
obviously,
well, I mean, N64 and GameCube were way better than the situation at this point. And I'd even say Wii. Like, everything's been. I mean, the Wii U situation with third party is it's the worst I've ever seen it with Nintendo.
I wouldn't say. I don't know about
N64 for a main console.
N64, they rebounded towards like 98, 99, I think.
Well, because N64 got like the Resident Evil remakes. You know, N64 got.
No, it didn't get the remakes. That was a GameCube. Well, it got Resident Evil 2.
It got Resident Evil 2, yeah, which wasn't a remake, sorry. It got Resident Evil 2, like, that's a big game, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I mean, and the Wii U has gotten games, you know, but it seems like it's completely dried up. I mean, Nintendo, they got third party games pretty much.
Yeah. I'm not arguing with that. My premise was that you were giving, because you mentioned Witcher 3 and stuff like that. I'm like, well, we all know that Nintendo doesn't get third party support. Yeah. And basically, Microsoft doesn't have RPG out there that they've made first party, and neither does Sony. To my knowledge,
they have Bloodborne.
Yeah, Bloodborne. I guess you can count.
Yeah,
is Bloodborne Sony?
Well, yeah, it's from software and Sony's Japan studio. Those are the two that made the game. So, I mean, that was my issue, was like, how did Sony get an RPG out? I mean, that wasn't my issue in the video, but that's just one thing. Is like, how did Sony get out a major RPG before Nintendo? That I don't understand that. And then Nintendo launched first.
Yeah, like but again, what I was saying was that because we're basically talking about quantity here, and you know the fact that there is not that many RPGs. But I'm like, if you're gonna count Witcher, you got to count like Darksiders and 2 and things like that as well.
I wasn't necessarily counting like Witcher 4, like Microsoft and Sony. I guess it was just that they don't have it. I mean, I would complain about, for the most part, the lack of. I mean, there's the things that there's RPGs. I understand that, like, you know, they're not first party RPGs. I just said that, well, since Nintendo doesn't have these games, it makes it look worse. You know, that was really what I was getting at, is that since they don't have The Witcher. I mean, if Nintendo had The Witcher, and if Nintendo had all of those games, like, there's no way there's no way I'd be complaining about RPGs.
Well, obviously, but what I'm saying, your premise is Nintendo first party.
Because Nintendo,
you made that a point as Nintendo first party.
They're known for their first party, and like Microsoft and Sony, let's just be honest here, man. When it comes to video game making, are they not scrubs? Can we be honest? Are they scrubs?
For the most part, they have a few series here, and then they got Halo, Uncharted.
Right. I mean, compared to Nintendo, what are they?
Well, yeah, compared to Nintendo, I mean,
they're scrubs,
it's hard to
right?
be. Yeah, of course.
Okay, so like when you're playing football, like, who gets it harder? Like, most coaches, like, does the starter get it worse when he messes up, or does the third or fourth string? You know?
I would say I don't know. That's I've seen it both ways, but
You've seen it both ways, but
probably the guy you care about.
yeah, I mean, like, you know, like if Frank Gore fumbles that, I mean, I don't want Frank Gore. I mean, I'd be mad, but I mean, I don't expect him to. It'd be like, what? Frank Gore fumble, you know?
Yeah.
But when stupid, what's his name, LaMichael James fumbles, I'm like, this idiot, get out, you know, like when he fumbles in the Super Bowl, I'm like, get out. So I mean, it's like the same thing. It's like that's why I'm a little bit harder on Nintendo when it comes to things, because they're known, they're not the scrub. They're the top dog when it comes to software. You know, nobody's bigger than Nintendo.
But again, my argument was based on your premise of for Nintendo first party, and we're talking about RPGs here.
Yeah,
and Nintendo's really never been known for first party RPGs anyway. That's not something they've been known for. They have picked up studios that do that, like Monolith Soft.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
But they make plenty. But they make RPGs.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they're I mean, they're no Fire Emblem is getting pretty big at this point. You know, it's overtaken most of their a lot of the other franchises as far as Japanese sales. Fire Emblem, I mean, started out with 300 something thousand. I mean, that was as much as Mario Kart. You know, I mean, although granted the 3DS has a much higher.
I was going to say that's the 3DS.
Yeah. But at the same time, I mean, you know, they had the foresight to say, hey, we want Yokai Watch. You know, Yokai Watch is huge. Pokemon is still their biggest franchise. I mean, most selling, biggest franchise in this generation. There hasn't been a game that sold more than Pokemon X and Y for Nintendo, if I'm not correct.
All right. But yeah, I can't remember who it was. I just remember reading an article where somebody, and I'm guessing it's Scott Moffat, said, you know, basically talking about how Nintendo fans are like, well, why don't you, please, we're trying to give you our money, please take our money, basically saying, give us the games that we want.
Chris Pranger.
And was it Chris? Okay, you know.
I have a problem with this dude.
All right, that was kind of funny. but what he was saying, though, made a lot of sense to me, because it was like, well, we're a business, obviously, and we want your money. Do you think if we thought such and such would sell or would do great and was worth the time and commitment and development cycle, that we wouldn't do it? And I'm speaking of like a Pokemon, what do you call it? A Pokemon console game, or, you know, like
it's obviously worth it.
One. Like I feel like in my heart of hearts that it would work and do well. And Nintendo's not stupid. A lot of people, Nintendo's so stupid for doing it. They're not stupid. You know, maybe they don't give you what you want all the time at the minute you want it, but they want to make money. They know how to do it.
But they do. But I think Nintendo of America's attitude towards that, I mean, their attitude with Chris Pranger pretty much, it almost kind of leads into like what I was kind of saying, is like they have no confidence in RPGs. They have no confidence in them. They're like, we don't need them. And that has somewhat bit them in the butt, as in RPGs at this point today are one of the biggest franchises. I mean, let's just take a look. You look at Japanese sales, Yoshi's Woolly World, beautiful 2D platformer, you know, it opened up pretty bad in Japan. I mean, I don't expect much from 2D platformers in Japan anymore, but I mean, 31,000, you know, units compared to Xenoblade Chronicles X, which is not an established franchise like Yoshi or Donkey Kong. Xenoblade Chronicles X sold nearly, what was it, 88,000 or something like that, and then another 30 to 40,000 digital, you know? So I mean, it's like, well, you look at the two and you're like, well, you need to start understanding that even here in America, you bring those games over, those can do better. Like they even said in that same interview, it was weird because he was like, oh, well, it's not Xenoblade, you know, that's so much work to do. Then he ended up saying, oh, well, it ended up doing well. So it's like, he's kind of like going in direct opposite. He just said, oh, it's not worth it. And then he said later in that same interview, oh, well, it did really well for us. Like,
yeah, I agree with what you're saying. But what I'm saying is that we're specifically talking about Japanese RPGs, especially. Yeah. They don't do that great here. They haven't done that great here in quite some time. That saddens my heart to know that. I'm sure I have a couple of videos where I talk about that.
So for Pokemon,
of course,
and Fire Emblem.
Pokemon's it's an RPG, but it's
Bravely Default.
But again, we're talking 3DS here. I'm talking console-wise.
We don't get any RPGs from Nintendo on the console. So
on the 3DS, we do. And what I'm saying, console-wise, especially you're talking about confidence. I don't think they have a lot of confidence in the Wii U to begin with. to make that effort to put those games on that.
So
I can't really blame them looking at the Wii U sales to put the effort that they put. I think the only reason we're getting Cross Fire Emblem is because it was in development before the writing was on the wall for Wii U.
Well, I mean, they didn't have any planned after the first year. Obviously, those were planned pretty much pre-launch or near launch. They didn't plan any in 2014. So I mean, obviously they were still trying with the Wii U in 2013 and 2014. So it seems like they didn't plan anything in those phases, or they canceled them. But that's part of the reason. And even before then, I think they should have had more planned. I mean, if you knew that it was going to take this long to bring those games out, I think more should have been planned, or they could have talked to some third parties to continue supplying some RPGs for your fan base instead of just what they're doing. I mean, every year we get at least 3 of the combination of from Nintendo platformers and mini game collections, which is why I keep harping on it. I mean, even like this year, you have Super Mario Maker. You have Yoshi's Woolly World. You have Super Mario Maker, Yoshi's Woolly World. You have Mario Party. You have Amiibo Festival. That's 4 in that category compared to 1, their first ever for the platform released. I understand they have some stuff that did at launch, but those were old games being ported over. Like games that we had already played. I'm looking for kind of more like new games too. Like I'm looking just for some new stuff. And I already played Deus Ex. I played it 3 times. I already played Mass Effect. I played it. Oh my God, you don't even know how many times I played Mass Effect 3. I played Mass Effect 3 so many times that when it came out on Wii, I'm just like, okay, a worse version. And like, that's not Nintendo's fault that it's worse. It's definitely not Nintendo's fault. But at the same time, it's like, this is what you get them to port over, And then what else did they have? Darksiders, got that. I already played it on a PC. It's kind of crappy on the PC. Played on the Wii U, that's cool, but those are all old titles. What I'm talking about is like new titles. There's nothing new coming out, from third parties on Wii U. So.
That's fine, but that wasn't what you said in the video. So I have to go by your premise, the way you worded in the video. And I mean, I'm glad that you brought up the platforms and all that stuff, because this is something you do a lot.
Yeah, I do.
That kind of annoys me with the platformers and merging them with those mini game collections.
That's all Nintendo does.
As if they're the same thing. I have a problem with that. Like I said, I don't completely disagree with what you're saying. I can care less for the most of the mini game stuff, but the premise of merging them with things like Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, which was my 2014 game of the year, mine. And merging that with the Game & Warrior or something, that's just so I can't let that fly.
You don't like the fact that I'm putting a bad quality game with a good quality game? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. You're kind of lumping them together as if they're the same thing.
I'm not trying to. I'm just doing it. I'm just doing
it. Game collections and platforms. You just it kind of rolls off your tongue as the one word.
And I understand it. Well, it does. But I'm not trying to say that the quality of these games are bad. I think the quality of Nintendo's mini game collections are not great. Yeah. They're not. They're platformers.
This gen, I would say.
Gen, their mini game.
I thought Nintendo Land was awesome. It could have been spectacular had it had online multiplayer.
Yes. Nintendo Land was good, but it's you. Excluding online multiplayer in that game where multiplayer is required for certain games, like you have to have it, like that is a big problem. Like that's a big
that
problem.
Was, and I've said that this is nothing new. I've said that on my channel numerous times.
And and like Game & Warrior is horrible. And the reason why I said that sometimes like they're wasting resources on these mini games because did you know Intelligent Systems worked on that game?
Did they? I didn't know. That.
Yeah, like that's a waste of resources.
But again, wasting resources. I can't completely agree with that either because Game & Wario we saw as what do you call them? Tech demos before Wii U even launched.
But it was a $40 release. Obviously, they put Intelligent System staffers on there.
But what I'm saying is, I don't think there was a lot of resources for Game & Wario, especially if you played it.
It was development. There was definitely development. I mean, whether it was 4 to 5 months. Remember, they completed. What was it? Legend of Zelda. Wind Waker HD in 6 months. I mean, maybe this game is a 4-month game. Maybe it's a 3 month. Still, that's still time and resources that you could have spent on a game that would have actually helped Wii U. Game & Wario
But
did nothing.
here's the thing: like people, they hear Nintendo say things, but they don't really listen to what they say. Like, I'm glad you brought up Legend of Zelda: Wind Waker HD, because that was a game that was basically a game that Nintendo did to get themselves acclimated with HD development. Like they said, Iwata said it, that they weren't familiar with HD. They didn't realize the learning curve, and that I'm sure that stunted a lot of games that they wanted to put out, and that's why you got these little stopgap kind of party games and mini game collections. Was because it was taking so long. Though. No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying that they did say that. It's just basically that
they've continued,
and that's their own fault.
But they've continued. Like it's like, you know, like I understand, like you release Mario Party, you know, okay, you're gonna do Mario Party,
and I said it on my channel. Mario Party is trash.
It's like, trash. It's just it's trash. And my problem, that's why my problem is that like when you have so many games in these two categories, which are not popular outside of just hardcore Nintendo fans. Let's just be honest. Mini game collections aren't racking it up anywhere else. Platformers aren't racking it up anywhere else. I just don't feel Nintendo needed to make so many. I understand like stopgap, but that's still manpower and resources.
I think your premise was that they knew blah blah blah. This was, you know, was it going to do well? I don't think they knew that. I don't think they knew that based on what the Wii U is called. It's called the Wii U because they thought they could continue the Wii success, and that's why you got. I don't know why we got a disjointed as Wii Sports Club, which
that's another mini game collection. Right. That, you know.
But they thought, you know, they didn't have any idea that those games wouldn't do well. That's why they were putting them out. That's why you got those games, because they did do well last gen, and this gen it just completely flipped. Like even on DS, you remember the astronomical numbers games like Brain Age was selling, and that one that came out with 3DS barely did anything.
Well, my understanding of it when Nintendo first revealed the Wii U was that this was going to be a system for core gamers. They actually said that this is one's for you. You know, and they pointed out to the audience, and heck, Screw Attack even was like claiming victory that, you know, they predicted that this was an older video. Maybe some of you guys can.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, Screw Attack was like, oh, Nintendo's going to go hardcore. That was a prediction of theirs. And then after E3, they're like, oh, we told you. But you know, it didn't quite turn out that way.
They weren't wrong though. I mean, they were trying to do that. It wasn't like they weren't trying to do that. They were trying to give you some Wii, and then give you some of the quote unquote core games.
It's a little bit more Wii than
but the problem, yeah. But the thing is, they let the third parties go first. Basically, they let them first. And a lot of those games that were supposed to come out never came out. They got canceled. You started hearing, oh well, the game Wii U can't handle it, and all this nonsense. They started making excuses about it, and that just killed the momentum of the Wii U in the beginning.
And also, but don't you think Nintendo's own? Because I mean, we're talking about this because look, I mean, let's get the basis out here. So people are saying, okay, well, only hardcore Nintendo fans are buying the Wii U, which is true. But even hardcore Nintendo fans aren't buying the Wii U because I think Nintendo has more than what they've put up. I think even then, like people that love Nintendo games are just like, I'm good with the 3DS.
Yeah, they got 3DS and they're good.
Yeah, and they're good, and you know, and that shows that there's a lack of games that these people want to play. 3DS is selling because it has Fire Emblem, because it has Yokai in Japan, and it's getting it here in America because it has games like Bravely. People talk about surprised that Bravely Default did well. Why are you surprised that Bravely Default did well? Every single time we see these games, these Japanese RPGs come out, and the developers are like, man, we're surprised it did this well. On the 3DS, oh, we're surprised it did this well. Bloodborne comes out, we're surprised it sold 1 million. There's all these RPGs that are coming out, Witcher, we're surprised it sold 4. We didn't think it was going to sell that much. Like, people want these type of games. Like, it's pretty clear that these games went away and they started to kind of come back in the 7th generation, you know. And it's pretty clear that people want these games. I'm just a little upset that Nintendo didn't like look at the 3DS and say they already knew that 3DS was going to get RPGs. Obviously, like I don't understand why the same. You know, wasn't put for Wii U. That's kind of like.
Well, I just it probably sounds like making excuses, but none of the other companies have to deal with holding up a successful handheld along with the console business.
Sony tried.
Sony tried. Microsoft was smart enough not to try, and And it's not for lack of the system, because they're great pieces of hardware. Both PSP and Vita are great pieces of hardware. But that's just not. That just proves how not easy that is. People just take Nintendo's success in the hardware and in the handheld business as they're going to do that well. But that doesn't mean that it's an easy thing to do. And people kind of seem like, Nintendo puts out a handheld,
it's hard.
It's going to do great. No, especially in the market we live in now. 3DS
it's hard.
It's doing good, but it's definitely getting a chunk of its pie cut out because of their mobile and those
I think the
devices.
Wii U too. I mean, obviously, a lot of people who picked up Wii, they've definitely migrated. That's why I think it was really important. People were saying that back then, like when the Wii launched. There, like even before then, they were saying, hey, the mobile market is coming up. Hopefully, Nintendo really tries to appeal to us. They tried to appeal to us. Nintendo. It seems to me like Nintendo kind of shit. I mean, they tried to do both and didn't go hard enough for one because they have that 3DS that they have to do for. I mean, and I've made videos on that. Like Nintendo just like. They got caught off guard.
Spreading themselves too thin.
Yeah, they spread themselves thin. My only issue, I guess my issue is like I feel that they should have done like when they know that they're being spread thin, I feel that they should have, as I like RPGs, they should have at least tried to get some of these Japanese RPGs on Wii U, whether it be I made a video talking about they need to have like what they did with remember the old Rockstar, how they used to be like Nintendo's Dream Team or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I was like, man, Nintendo should
they were DNA, I think they were called, right? DNA.
Yeah, something like that.
DMA.
Where they would port over American games or something like that, but a lot of the games got canceled. Like I was like, man, I wish Nintendo would do that, for certain games here, like just to get us something, something notable third-party releases, whether it be like, Witcher or whatever. They have a team that can port it, that can do a good job. I mean, that's the thing that I didn't like. And like, it just seems like every single time that Nintendo would release a game, it would be like, okay, well, we're going to release tried and true. And then they say stuff like, oh, well, we're taking risks. It's like, well, what risk did you take? Like, what's exactly software wise, what risk has there been from Nintendo? Do you see any really risky software?
I would say putting out mini game collections.
How is that risky? How is it risky?
It's not financially risky, but
no, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not risky at all. Like, okay, you make Mario Party. There's 10 of them. It sells. Okay, there you go. You make. I mean, Nintendo Land might have been, I guess, kind of risky, but then at the same time,
Game & Wario bombed.
Game & Wario flipped it a flop, but Smooth Moves was successful. Smooth Moves sold over 1 million on Wii. So I mean, like, I don't think any of the games the mini game collections that they did release was risky. And like, they have like maybe Bayonetta was risky, maybe taking Hyrule Warrior, Zelda with Warriors, but that wasn't. I mean, that's Muso's an established brand in Japan. You knew you were going to sell a certain amount, and even then, like the game
Bayonetta was definitely the most risky.
Yeah, like Bayonetta was, but then even with Bayonetta, there's a set amount of core fans that are going to buy it.
There's a set amount of core fans who swore up and down they would never buy a Nintendo console and hated on the game instead of trying to, play.
Yeah, agreed. But I mean, relative to where Wii U sales, relative to the install base, as far as for the type of game Bayonetta is, I think it's done well. I mean, I obviously think that there's still more to come with that game, especially when it gets, it's getting price drops. So we'll still see how it does. But either way, I mean,
the thing about Bayonetta is it kind of drives me nuts is that people don't look at ratio, and they said, well, Bayonetta, the first one sold 1 million. What, 1.5 million on PlayStation 3?
1.2, maybe 1 point. It's 1 point.
Okay, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And then I think it sold. I think Wii U is almost caught up to the 360 numbers.
It's almost 360. I think is about 900,000. Wii U's at like 760,000. No digital. So
and we're talking about an install base of just turned 10 million versus 80 plus, and I'm counting 80 plus because that's what you have to do. Because I mean,
even if you have it,
it's not about when the game came out.
Yeah.
Right now, there's an 80 plus install base on those consoles, and that should help the sales of games as well. But it didn't do anything for Bayonetta. The first one obviously they don't have two, but that's my point. Is like Bayonetta didn't sell all that great on those consoles. which had way bigger install bases. For Wii U, that's pretty stellar. What it's sitting at right now.
Well, yeah, I mean,
the ratio goes.
It's one of the best. Believe it or not, it's one of the best. It's like top 20, best selling game. It's sold better than a lot of games out there. But I mean, and that was great.
Established third party games like what's the game? Splinter Cells and even I think
Assassin's Creed
and even Call of Duty, right?
Yeah. It's blown out all of those games. Yeah. it's blown out all. I think it's sold all the Call of Duties and stuff combined. Almost all of them, like Assassin's Creed and Call of Duties combined. I think. Well, no, it hasn't went that far. But I mean, what I'm trying to get at is that Nintendo. I mean, sometimes they'll say certain things and it doesn't quite match up to what they said, like with the Wii U. I thought the system was going to be able to do like all the stuff that like the Xbox 360. I mean, I was thinking minimum Xbox 360, when it came to certain things. And I thought that they were really good. I thought that after the success of The Last Story, because, XC said that was their best, Nintendo decided not to publish that game here in America, whatever. That was their best selling, one of their best selling games ever. I think at the time it was their best selling game, and Pandora's Tower didn't do quite as good, but it did okay for the type of game that it was. And then Xenoblade did the best out of all of them. I was like, okay, well, Nintendo took all generations to release some RPGs, but we got them. They were good. People sold. They were happy. But then the cycle kind of repeated it. I mean, once again, we're waiting all generation to get some really good RPGs. And Xenoblade is amazing. The reason why I'm hard on Nintendo is because I know what they can do in that genre. Like I said, Microsoft and Sony, I know I didn't say that in the video, but let's just be honest, Microsoft and Sony cannot make games like Nintendo. And look, I understand people get mad, holding Nintendo to different standards, whatever. Microsoft and Sony do that, but come on, let's all be honest. We all hold Nintendo to different standards, do we not, when it comes to gaming? Like,
I mean, as Nintendo fans,
everybody,
no different than any other,
even non-Nintendo fans, everybody knows Nintendo makes like the best game. It's pretty much even reviewers that don't want to admit it. They give the games good scores, do they not? Like Smash, still one of the higher rated than a lot of Xbox 360, PS3, PS4. And most reviewers, they're trash at Smash. They don't care about it, but they just know like
quality.
Yeah, they know quality. Like when you play Smash, the quality. I mean, there's 8 players on screen, doesn't dip, 1080p, like the quality is just outstanding. These developers can't get a game running at a consistent 30 half the time, and that's the thing, like Super Mario 3D World, like you just expect so much from Nintendo. Like, and I'm not talking about trolls, like I'm not talking about people that have these unrealistic things that don't even play the games. Whenever I say something about Nintendo and I give them a critique, it's coming from someone who has all the games, who plays the games, who likes Nintendo. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I just know that they can do so much better than they're doing at this point. I know that they can make RPGs that would get people to buy their system. Like, heck, the Final Fantasy 15 developer said, heck, man, like I'm going to buy a Wii U for Xenoblade. Those are the type of games, like I just want Nintendo to realize that these are the type of games, maybe they won't sell more than Mario Kart. Maybe they won't sell more than Smash. But I'm going to tell you something right now. They're going to get people to purchase your system that wouldn't have purchased your system. And that's what you need to focus on a little bit more. And I should have made that clear in my video. So I was wrong. And I don't have a problem admitting that I was wrong.
Well, I mean,
yeah. So
people, will nitpick you and call you. I mean, when you're making a quote unquote rant video or whatever, you're not always thinking clear context. So I've been quote unquote exposed for doing that. When I did the what video was that? JC Grooves recently talked about it. Nintendo fans, people who claim that they're Nintendo fans, but they can't name Nintendo franchises that they like, and I didn't say or in that video when I was mentioning. I was just rolling off Nintendo franchises, and I didn't say or. So people assumed that I meant you had to like all Nintendo franchises to be a Nintendo fan.
Yeah, I know what you meant, but
right, and he did too. He's the one that he mentioned it, and that's when I realized maybe I should do a follow up, and I did, and. Just one little word like that or can change your whole premise.
I need to do a follow-up, and I think I'm going to do like a hype video follow-up, and like I'm going to prove why Nintendo needs to be put on a higher standard. When it comes to software, they need to be put on it. I mean, absolutely. Like it's not even close. I mean, even if we compare the games, like you compare Microsoft and Sony, what they've done as far as games go. I mean, Andrew Eisen did it,
Yeah.
It's not even close. And I mean, and he completely kind of pushed it towards trying to do anything to help Microsoft and Sony, and even if you look at like the games that's been released, I mean, third party for Microsoft and Sony, that's what they are. They are third party.
But what I want to say, I think my main point was, before I forget it, because I've been holding it for a few minutes, is that I've been a Nintendo fan forever, 30 plus years, and as far as I can remember, Nintendo's first party hasn't made RPGs. That's just not something they've done. Like a lot of the praise, even coming from the guys who say I used to be a Nintendo fans for such and such games. They're not naming Nintendo games. They're naming stuff that was on Super Nintendo,
like Secret of Mana and Chrono Trigger
and stuff like that, which Nintendo didn't make themselves, but they get credit for it because it was on their console. Yeah, and that's what I was saying. That's basically my main point, was that it felt like you were giving credit to these other systems because they're Super Nintendo, and Nintendo currently isn't. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that video was just really based on, I wasn't trying to give credit to Microsoft and Sony. That wasn't necessarily what I was trying to do. I've given credit to Sony for Bloodborne, because the fact that they got out a major RPG before Nintendo kind of pissed me off. I mean,
right. But not only that, like I have an Xbox One. You have an Xbox One. You just got one, right?
I got one a little bit ago, but yeah, I have all the systems. Yeah.
Is it me, or are they getting a pass this year? Because Phil Spencer got on stage twice now and said this is the greatest lineup of Xbox games in Xbox history. And I'm like, well, unless I'm mistaken, I just got my first retail exclusive for Xbox One. And it was a collection of old Nintendo games. Well, basically rare collection.
Pretty good collection, but yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah. But it's August. And I just got my first retail exclusive from Microsoft.
And that's why I said that.
And nobody's saying, I don't hear anybody, nobody's talking about that.
Because people,
they get a pass because they have the other games.
You know what it is. And I wasn't trying to give, I don't think did I even mention Microsoft or Sony in that video?
No. I was just making a point. No, you didn't say anything about it.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to give them more credit. I was just trying to say, like, well, if Nintendo had them, like, if it was I wouldn't be as mad because of those games, like the big games. But yeah, I think somewhat they get a pass just because Microsoft and Sony are so associated with third party. Like you said, like the Super Nintendo, people say, oh, I like the Super Nintendo. Why can't Nintendo be like that? I mean, they really just like third party games on the Super Nintendo. So I think somewhat they are getting the pass, but
Sony, you mentioned Bloodborne. What else?
As far as RPGs or
just games?
Well, I mean, they had the Order. But,
like I said, what else?
They had the Order. I mean, they for this year they've had the Order.
I mean, you got to count it because they've
had God of War. Just came out. Yeah, I mean, it's a remaster.
I want to count old games, but I mean, because then you can give Microsoft Gears of War. But,
I gave Nintendo, Legend of Zelda HD, so
I don't really.
A lot of Nintendo fans were like, "Oh, Legend of Zelda HD, it's awesome, it's amazing."
Hey, it is awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome. So I mean,
but it's still an old game.
It is, but
I bought it. And I still haven't barely played it because I already beat it 3 times.
I'll tell you something right now. I'd rather take an old game in HD remaster over mini game collections. I would take that at this point. Like, I would totally take. Like, let's say they said we're gonna remaster Bates and Kados. I would totally take that over.
But then you're not. You see, you're part of the problem. You're not helping. We're not gonna get new games if you keep buying these old.
Nintendo isn't making new games fast enough. Are they or not? Or they're gonna wait till Q4. They're gonna release Devil's Third. They're gonna release every game in Q4.
Yeah, it seems like it. It's crazy.
At one point, like, okay, well, Devil's Third. Everybody else.
But that's kind of awesome for us. I mean, obviously, we had to wait all year for this crap, and I didn't want to. I thought I'd have Woolly World by now, because they said first half 2015, and
Nintendo America, they hold on to Woolly's World
I don't know why they're holding that game of all games, but
I don't get, because people are in the mood to buy games in the fall. Like, That was their excuse. But
I was in the mood to buy it in March.
I totally would have bought it in March. But like I said, at this point, I'm just like, I don't care. And then Super Mario Maker, like it's platformer overload for me. Like I can't be having Super Mario Maker, which is going to take a lot of my time. I mean, when I buy it,
putting that next to Super Mario Maker,
and then you're putting another platformer right next to Super Mario. I'm like, come on, man, like. Come on.
That strategically doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, they should have just released it. It's like, what are you?
I said that. I've been saying that for months.
I don't understand. Like, what are they at this point with the Wii U? Like, like what are you?
Yeah. I'm glad you reminded me of the thought I had. You were talking about RPGs are pretty intensive games. Like you have to build a story, which is huge. You have to build the worlds, which are usually huge as well. And so the development cycle is at least 3 years.
On a major RPG, on a 3DS RPG level, and then like
I'm talking console because we're talking Wii U and
I understand, but every RPG does not have to be Xenoblade Chronicles level.
No, of course not. Of course not.
So I mean, like on a Xenoblade Chronicle, that's going to take 2 to 3 years. But on a let's say you were going to do like a 3DS level RPG, like the PS, like for instance, like Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth, something like that, where it's like a PS Vita game and then they just put it on PS4. Those could be like 1.5, 2 years. Those can be a lot shorter for those games. And like that's what I was thinking Nintendo had some of those lined up.
But what I was getting at is, again, this is all speculation. Most of this is speculation. We have some facts we can fight about in there, quote unquote, fight about. But again, Nintendo Wii U fell off a cliff in January of 2013.
2013, it was. They sold 160,000 in 3 months.
Right, it just completely fell off a cliff. It looked good in the beginning, but then it just fell off a cliff. So what I'm saying is, again, this is speculation, but we don't know because we don't know until hindsight, if we ever know. There could have been Wii U RPGs in the mix, and maybe they got pushed. Because look at as an example, Shenmue. I just learned that Shenmue was on Saturn, and I was a huge Saturn dude, and I just learned that Shenmue started its development on Saturn and got pushed over to Dreamcast, and that,
because of the Saturn's failure.
Right, because of the Saturn's failure, and even though N64 didn't fail, they were working on Metroid for N64, and obviously that got moved to GameCube.
Didn't they say that they didn't have any concrete ideas necessarily?
Well, I mean, they built a little engine, and they had Samus running around in like this cave, and they had the little, what is it, Zebo creature, the spikes on his back, the little bug creature, and they had that, and that's what, and they had some ideas, and I think some of those ideas went over to Jet Force Gemini. And that's why Jet Force Gemini has kind of it could be, you can see it being like a Metroid game with the way it's set up. At least back then. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, because of the, longer development cycle of these games, and coupled with the fact that the Wii U is, bombed, maybe those games were in development and they just pushed them. Maybe that's why you're hearing stuff from Square Enix talking about,
that's good. That's great. I mean, that's what I want to hear. That's definitely what I want to hear. I don't know. I guess as a fan, I just wish that Nintendo, if they did do that, like, well, can we spend less money and can we get this RPG on Wii U to help with the fans?
You did so many shoulda, coulda, wouldas on Wii U. Yeah, that just drives me insane. Like, I guess mentally I've moved on, and like as far as like expecting something like that to come to the platform.
And. It's tough for me to move on because like the Wii U's still here.
I get it. I still have it. It's still plugged in right now.
And I still play it every day, you know? And I'm still looking at this second screen that just sits here because all I do is play Smash. And I'm just like, man, like this could have been epic. Like it could have been like amazing. Like it really could have been amazing if they had heart. Like if they came out with like some of the stuff that they're coming, like let's just say Super Mario Maker came out earlier, and Splatoon came out earlier, and Xenoblade came out earlier. I don't know. I think it'd be a little bit of a different, because those games really use the Wii U gamepad in a good way, I think.
I think I kind of alluded to earlier is that I feel like we would have gotten that awesome stuff, with the gamepad and all that stuff, if Nintendo wasn't so behind as far as the HD development cycle. I think that mired a lot of the, what they would have been able to do had they not, had the Wii not have been as successful as it was, and they just kind of got a little lazy towards the end of it.
Yeah.
Instead of I feel like the Wii U probably should have came out in 2011. It should have been ready to go.
Yeah. Maybe 2010, 2011.
Maybe even 2010.
Yeah.
But definitely by 2011.
We are basically confirming that Michael Pachter was right about something.
Oh no!
When we say that, I know I hate to bring it up, but he totally said that. Everybody unsubscribe now.
Unsubscribe. I just lost 20 subscribers.
You just lost 20. I just lost 40 or 50. No, the dude, he really did say that they should. And back then I was like, no.
Well, I mean, hindsight.
Hindsight's 2020.
It's 2020, but yeah. I mean, but we can move into a different.
We can answer some of these questions because I think that we kind of better understood what each other was trying to say.
Yeah.
I realized that
I did want to touch on your Metroid premise.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah, so let's talk about Metroid. So
you have the numbers. Like I must say, I was gonna prepare for this, but the day was too busy for me. So my preparation for this was watching Kung Pao. You ever seen that movie before? Kung Pao, something of the fist.
Yeah, was it not the panda? Not that one, is it?
No, it's a live action movie where the guy uses like old kung fu movie footage and he splices it.
Yes, I've seen that movie.
Comedy.
I saw that movie, I think, in film study when I was in college. Yeah.
That I also watched it in film study for editing. Teaching us, all the editing tricks or whatever. So, so that was my preparation for this quote unquote debate. So, but I know you have the numbers on Metroid because you were reading them off.
Yeah, I do. My thing with Metroid is that I don't feel that Metroid, it's such a, people like Nintendo fans want to just say, like, I'm not even going to say Nintendo, blanket them. There's some people that just want to say, well, Metroid doesn't sell enough. It's like, how does it not? I don't understand, how does it not sell enough? Like, it sells enough for them to make the game into, like I said, Metroid, I think, without Metroid, I don't think the GameCube sells as well. Metroid was one of the big factors for the GameCube. I mean, and if it sold so bad, and if it's just, why did they just immediately greenlight a sequel? I mean, if it sold so horrible, why is there Metroid Prime 2? Like, literally,
we know Metroid Prime sold great.
Yeah, and then Metroid,
what is it? Not the best-selling Metroid game, or no?
It is the best-selling Metroid.
It is. Okay.
Almost 3 million. I don't know what Nintendo's internal numbers are. It's like 2.82 on VG.
Mm-hmm.
That could be lower than what it actually is, especially with Player's Choice and all that. And then, I mean, if you talk about, like, well, let's talk about Metroid Prime Trilogy on the Wii. Another 500,000 units, for a collection that was
limited though. Right?
Limited stock, exactly, and it sold over 500,000. Like Metroid Prime Trilogy on the Wii U. Okay, did that. From what I'm understanding, the numbers were pretty good when it first launched, especially with that discount. That, I mean, people were getting it for what, $9.99.
Mm-hmm.
They were getting it, so it did pretty well. It was on the eShop charts for a bit. So I mean, like, it's pretty.
But let's get into corruption, and let's get into
corruption 1.79 for an old SD engine that they've been reusing. I mean, it's not like they made like a whole new. This isn't the Witcher 3. It's the same engine they used on the GameCube.
I'm not dismissing your premise on the engine. What I'm saying is you're seeming to try to use that as a sale or reason the sales dropped off.
It dropped.
It's not concrete.
The reason why the sales dropped off because it's the third one. I mean, that's the reason why the sales dropped off. In my opinion, it dropped off because it's the third one.
But it was the third one with whether you like them or not, innovative controls for Nintendo's highest selling console.
But maybe people didn't want to play Metroid like that. Because there were some people saying, I wish I can just play Metroid the way I'm supposed to play Metroid, like the way that they wanted to play it on the GameCube. And Nintendo stubbornly did not let people play with the Pro controller or the classic controller Pro. They did not. I mean, that was the thing. The Wii era, Nintendo was big on that. Like, no, you're not allowed to play the game this way. You must play the game.
Trying to push the motion. I mean, I can't really fault them for that.
But that's the thing.
They were actually using their quote unquote innovation on that console.
There's nothing wrong with providing options, though. There's nothing wrong with, and like Nintendo had this thing where they don't want to provide options. Like with the Wii U, they changed that because obviously it was a negative with the Wii, right? Or otherwise with the Wii U, they would have never done that. They would have just said, no, you can only play with the gamepad. You know, but they said no, you can play with this controller and this controller and this controller.
This is a pretty good argument here, but you didn't make this argument in the Metroid video.
What am I supposed to do? I look at 7.19. In my opinion, I look at 7.19 and I did the math in the video as far as how much it did, and I'm like, well, it still made plenty of money. Yeah, there was a sales drop.
7.19. What are you talking?
Huh?
What's 7.19? What's that?
7,790,000
for
Metroid Prime Corruption 3, or Metroid Prime 3 Corruption.
It sold 7 million.
No. Did I say 7? I thought I said 1.79.
Oh, you said 1 point. I thought you said 7.1.
Yeah. No. 1.7. I wish it sold 7 million. We have Metroid.
We have one right now.
We have Metroid 15 right now.
Right.
No, but it sold 1.79. I mean, and Nintendo didn't do digital. I mean, I think if they would have done digital as well, I don't want to make crappy excuses, but they did digital as well. I think it also would have done well digitally because Metroid Prime. I mean, when they released it, I mean, the fact that you sell another 500,000 copies of a collection of old games, I think that's enough proof that Metroid can pull its own weight. I mean, you're re-releasing old games, you sell 500,000, and remember those were $50, so full priced. They did do some work on it. They did map the Wii remote for Metroid Prime 1 and 2, so there was some extra development on there. So it's definitely going to be a little bit more expensive than just putting them together. But I do think that at 1.79, I mean, and I understand Nintendo's most successful console ever, you know. But then again, at the same time, I mean, at the time that it was released, you know, it wasn't at 100 million.
What was it at?
I think it was at it might have been at 20 million.
Okay, 20 million. Okay, I'll give you that. That's probably right.
I mean, it was one year.
How much was the GameCube at when?
Well, I mean, the GameCube. Yeah, the GameCube was at. I don't know what the GameCube.
The GameCube only sold 22 million lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, the GameCube was at what? It had to have been what? Maybe 5 million, maybe 5 million or so.
I mean, 2002.
GameCube came out in 2001, so they came out a year after.
Yeah, year after. So it came out in 2002.
Yeah, I mean, 5 million. I mean, if you're just going,
who knows when it got to 2.8 or 3, whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
we don't know. I don't know. We have to judge the whole generation at that point because it's history now. So,
and if you look at the Wii, I mean, I mean, I know it's not fair, but if you combine Metroid Prime Trilogy, you know, with this 1.79, I mean, it's pretty. It's in the range, and it outsold. I mean, it outsold Metroid Prime 2. I mean, I understand was it 100 million, but it still did better than the one before it. Yeah. So, in my opinion, I think
Nintendo looked at that and they said, "Well, I'm sure they were expecting more. Not that they needed more to justify the budget, but I'm sure they were expecting more sales than 1.79."
Why would they be expecting? Well, I mean, what would they be?
Well, because they had this uber crazy successful console. They would expect that the attach rate would be a little bit more for that alone. I mean, they sold 3 million on the 22 million GameCube. You would think by the end of the generation again, it would be sitting better than 1 point whatever. And then you get Metro what is it? Other M, and that barely cracked the million.
1.2.
Yeah. And
which is still really good for how
again it's financially successful, but they're looking at a decline in Metroid sales.
So
the same way people talk about Nintendo consoles on a decline, they'll cut out the Wii, of course, but they'll talk about Nintendo consoles being on a decline since Super Nintendo.
Let me ask you a question.
Same thing. Metroid's on a decline as well.
Let me ask you a question, T. When something that you know is popular, because we all know Samus Aran is popular, right? Mm-hmm. She's popular,
at least in our circles.
Yeah, no, she's popular. I mean, she's a cultural icon. Most core gamers know they've seen that character. You know, I
don't know that. I mean, I'm a Nintendo fan, so it's kind of hard, getting out of the bubble.
Well, even if you're marketing to Nintendo fans,
I'm not sure a lot of non-Nintendo fans.
Well, even if let's just say we're just straight marketing to Nintendo fans then. Okay. Even then, most Nintendo fans know. I mean, that's really all Nintendo needs to sell their games, right? Nintendo fans.
Yeah, I mean,
for the most part. I mean, a lot of their games just sell Nintendo fans with the Wii U. But even if you look at like Samus Aran, and you know she's marketable, you know you're going to get a set fan base, so you know you're going to sell them out. In my opinion, when you see a decline and you know you have something good, you need to say, well, what can we do to innovate this franchise? what can we do? You know, and I think they saw that with, I think they even saw that with Super Metroid. They're like, oh, well, you know, it's not the most popular, but what can we do to shake this franchise up? And they did it. They did it on the GameCube. I wish that they would have said that, take that same attitude and do it on the Wii U, because you have the gamepad. You could have done it.
I don't feel like it's all about innovation, because I feel like Metroid is, you know, quote unquote, a core, you know, hardcore.
Metroid isn't innovative
game.
though?
No, I'm not. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm trying to get to. I don't think it's to make it sell more. It's strictly about the innovation, because I just feel like certain franchises aren't going to be massive, you know, a mass appealing type of franchise. I feel like Metroid fits in that range, you know, because I don't think a lot of people don't know
selling games though. It's about selling consoles too. A Metroid game could get more people to buy your console. It's not just about, because I mean, like, okay, that's fine. Like Mario Party, yeah, it sold, you know, it's going on 1 million. Yeah, Donkey Kong Country's at 1 million, but that doesn't help sell your console as much as these type of games. Like, it's not just about, and that's what NOA focuses too much on. It's just about selling numbers. You need to say, okay, well, will people buy your console? If we bring out a badass Metroid game that's innovative, don't you think that can bring more people into the console? And that's my thing. Maybe it doesn't sell 6 million units, but it might sell more consoles.
But I mean, but again, Metroid Prime was a risk. It was a risk. People, in hindsight, again, hindsight is 2020. Of course, it was going to sell well. No, people were pissed off about how Metroid looked.
It did wonders. The GameCube wouldn't have sold as much without Metroid Prime.
But what I'm saying is, it's not simple to just, oh, let's revamp the core of this game.
Why not?
Hopefully we can get. Hopefully it'll sell better, because you know that's a risk. Like I said, Metroid Prime was a
company. They said it themselves.
I know that, but what I'm saying is that's not something that's normal. That's not something that that a company will always do. You know, I guess looking at Metroid and other franchises that have kind of declined, maybe they will take those chances now. But again, I think Metroid, the case with Metroid, I don't think any person would tell you that, hey, you got this company called Retro Studios. They've been hiring like crazy. They're still freaking hiring right now. Mm-hmm. It's been 3 years on the Wii U, and all they've been working on is Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
Oh, no, they're working on something else.
Of course they are. I mean, just, common sense would tell you that. But why don't we know what they're working on yet?
If they are working on a Metroid game, which I think they could possibly be doing, that would be great.
Why don't we know that?
It would
the
be
Wii U fell off a cliff.
Yeah, it might come to NX.
It might have just said again. They might have just decided to push it, and in 5-10 years, we'll know that that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, I mean, but I just wish that they would have taken and I understand, it's a risk taking, but I just wish they would have taken these risks at the beginning of the Wii U. Just said, hey, we're gonna go in guns blazing. I mean, everybody's saying Nintendo needs to go in guns blazing, right? With the NX, they can't. Oh, let's just kind of feel things out a little bit, and see how the market plays out. We're gonna release some mini game collections without online play. Nobody's saying that right now.
You know what I think? I think it was the Active Gamer Life podcast. We talked about this. Shout out to Red Knight and I think
Red Knight
and I think Terminator Juice was on that one too. I think we all talked about the fact that. Remember last year's E3, how awesome it was, and
it was amazing.
People decided, that Nintendo won, and it was going to be this big turnaround, and things were going to turn around. They had great games coming out that holiday, and it barely did anything for Wii U. You know what I'm saying? It barely. And Nintendo put all that effort in. They had all that all that good publicity, and it still barely sold. I think that was the nail in the coffin.
Yeah. And I've also made videos where I said I was hoping Nintendo would change the OS, or not change it completely, but modernize it a bit and make it to where it has more features and upgrade it the other systems. I think if Nintendo did that with a price drop, with those games, I thought they were going to do that. I thought they were going to do price drop, revamp, features that at least basic features that Xbox 360 had, and all those games. And I think that there would have been a bigger turnaround. I don't think it would have been okay, we're going to sell PS4, but I definitely think it would have been like, okay, it's picking up steam, and then they could have supported it, but they didn't do that. All they did was just release the games and say, same OS, same where you have to go to Miiverse, same where you pull up your friends list and you can't actually interact with your friends.
I get you. I feel you on that, but the average person walking in a store don't know about the OS. They don't know about. They look at the shelf.
The gamers.
Yeah, but gamers, we're in a bubble. We think we're the smallest part of what makes why the gaming is so successful. It's casual gamers that make this world go round. That there's
a lot of
fans or butts about it. No, I'm not saying, dude. I understand that, but what I'm saying is the average person that walks in the store and buys a console is not thinking about the OS or what this has and what that has. They look on the shelf. Right? Is Call of Duty on the shelf with that console, and all that kind of stuff. Okay. That's what they look for.
And I understand, but like word of mouth is also very big too, and especially like in Europe.
Well, of course.
And like when who spreads word of mouth? Core gamers do for the most part, unless it's like we, for the most part, core gamers will be like, hey, people will come to me and ask me, like when I go play basketball at the gym, people will come to me, hey, what should I get? Blah, blah, blah. I'm from a core game. And I will tell these casuals, well, hey, this is what you can do. This is what you can do. Or sometimes casuals might even look at like a casual website, like Business Insider or whatever, or they'll find something to get their source of information.
And everywhere they look, Wii U was getting blasted.
It's getting blasted by a lot of core gamers. It's getting blasted. A lot of people, like, I can't even recommend the Wii U to these casuals, which is sad. I'm like, I really want to recommend. I'm like, well,
it doesn't have the game that they're looking for.
Exactly. So I mean, and like the problem is that like Nintendo's games or Nintendo's system doesn't necessarily support those type of games the best way. It's just like communication wise, like being able to easily, quickly party up with people, things like that. Nintendo's system doesn't support that.
How do you sell a console in America that doesn't have any American sports games on it?
Yeah,
that's huge.
Nintendo didn't make their system to the point where it would be, to where gamers would like. I'm not even gonna use that word. To where people who play consoles a lot are gonna be like, oh yeah, I can I can easily see my friends. I can easily message them. I can easily voice chat. Like everything. I'm not saying those are the reasons why, but I'm just saying like if you look at the Wii U and how it's built, compared to like even like an Xbox 360, there's some things that I guess were lacking from some people. And then like even like stuff that's not even that big of a deal, but then I guess it kind of makes it a big deal, like the hard drive deal. It's like, okay, well, you're probably going to have to buy a hard drive. You're probably going to want a 1 or 2 terabyte. You're probably going to have to spend another, $80, $200. So it makes it as expensive as a PS or as an Xbox, or as a PlayStation. So I guess that was also an issue too. Like when I tell people like, okay, well, the Wii U has this, they're like, okay, well, can I download all my games? Because I like digital. I'm like, I'm like, you can a couple, but you're probably gonna have to get some more if you like digital. They're like, oh, okay.
And again, I thought it was a good idea. Obviously, Nintendo thought it was a good idea.
Yeah,
I guess I'm in a bubble because I'm kind of a tech guy, and so having a hard drive is not a big deal. External hard drive is not a big deal. I have 3 laying around that doing nothing right now. So
yeah, it's not a big deal to me.
A big deal to me. So but, I didn't think. I thought that's a great option. Keep the console cheaper and allow people to put as much space on it that they want to. But again, it's almost like a PC situation. People don't want to build PCs. The casual gamer doesn't want to build PCs. And when you have to do something extra, that could affect your sales.
I also think Miyamoto's when he said, oh, well, the Xbox and PlayStation would cost $100 more with the gamepad. I don't know if that was a good idea to say. So then people were like, wait a minute, we're paying $100 for something you don't use? Yeah, Miyamoto said that. Yeah, he did. He said that the Xbox and PlayStation would cost $100 more if it had a gamepad. And people were like, wait a minute. It cost $100 to put a gamepad in the Wii U. This thing would have been $200 without it. And I understand like
the translation thing, because maybe what he was trying to say was that not so much that the gamepad itself costs $100. Maybe he was trying to even give a dig saying they would charge you $100 more for what we can do in Wii U.
It could be, but then again, at the same time, like when you do like PR is so fickle.
Right, I'm sure the minute he said that, it didn't matter what he meant. Exactly. What you were putting out there. So I get that.
And people were just like, well, wait a minute, you guys don't use this all the time, yet you're charging us $100 for it. You know, like, that's not cool. I'm like, the battery doesn't last long. Remember when people complain about the battery? Like, I have to buy another battery. There's all these hidden charges. I have to buy another extra this. I have to buy a freaking Ethernet cable, like a USB port for Ethernet if I want faster internet. This sucks. I can't stand it.
I mean, the battery. I mean, that was the real thing. I had problems with that because that was
it's real. The struggle is
battery
real with
in
the
the
battery.
Wii U gamepad is the same as the original 3DS battery. It's the exact same battery. So if that only holds that charge on the 3DS, what do you think you're gonna do on a Wii U with that? Like, I don't know what they were thinking with that kind of stuff.
Nintendo kind of passed a lot of extra costs to the consumer, I guess, and people didn't like that, and compile that with the system not having the feature set of like an Xbox 360, and like, you know, an Xbox 360 still like on the market selling. It just created a bad vortex, I think, that really, yeah, I think so. So we have some questions.
I just want one last statement. Hindsight being 2020, you know, maybe they should have done that. You know, put the system out there, charge $400, $450, whatever for it, whatever it is, but give, you know, that stuff. People will probably still buy it. People bought a PS4. People bought not 360, Xbox One at $500, $400. So. If they had a little more confidence in, you know, putting all that stuff in the box, maybe
it's just,
things would be different. Maybe
in the end of things, I'm not going to be making too many more videos where it was like that tone. At least not anymore. I mean, I understand, like,
I'm about to smack you again, fool. You do that again.
I understand, like, things just didn't go. Like, things messed up. We just need to move on, you know, for the most. But it's just tough because I turn on my Wii U every day, you know, and like the struggle with some of these issues with the OS is real with Smash Bros. Bruh, it's real. Like, you can, like, if you want to play a friend, good luck, because there's no friend invites. There's no on-screen notifications. You can send them a message on Miiverse, but if you're playing, like most of my friends, we all play with GameCube controllers.
I see a little blue light, and then like,
okay, you have to be looking at your controller that you're not using.
Yeah,
and you don't know if that's even a message or anything for Smash. And there's no friend invites.
Like, even if you were looking at it, it's still just a blue light. You don't know.
Yeah,
what that
it's
means.
still just a blue light.
You're not going to stop your game to check it and see what it is. So
exactly. So like, the struggle is real with Smash, man. And I'm a huge Smash player. Like, I just wish there was on-screen notifications. And I just
it's not just Smash. I mean, if you have Miiverse and things of that nature, you probably should have had stuff like that. I mean, that, you know, I don't know what the logistics of that stuff is. I'm not that kind of a tech guy. As far as, you know, what bandwidth and Nintendo servers and all that stuff. Obviously, they were in over their heads still with that kind of stuff, and that's why they brought in a company like DNA.
Let's get into these questions though, because I see some people that they've already, you know, we talked about how people misunderstand what you say.
Yeah.
Well, we got some of this going on.
Oh, no.
Well, this one comes from fellow PE Network / Reboot Gaming network member Logic Gaming. Says, I took notice of both of you stating that Xbox and PlayStation get away with less first-party retail games in 2015. I think the answer is simple: third party. Please discuss. Well, we did.
We said that. That's exactly what we said. They got it passed because they're Super Nintendos this generation. They have.
If whether the pass is legitimate or not all. It's your opinion. Like, if you think it's fair or not, it's all opinion. Do I think it's fair? Somewhat. It's fair because the games are there. The end result is the games are there. Nintendo, they're not.
We did say that, right? I thought I specifically remember saying that. Okay.
I don't know when he put this question in, so it could have been before we started talking about it. All right. So yeah, but yeah, they're definitely getting a pass because of third party, which is whether you think it's fair or not.
Right, and we were specifically talking about first party at that point. We were talking about Nintendo's first party, and what they're not doing, and that's why I brought up that.
Yeah, agreed. Next, it comes from Capable Ty. Mizzah Tee, shouldn't we look at them a little different since Wii U is almost over and other consoles still have plenty of time to give us RPGs, open world games? It's more about the entire life of the system. What do you think? What do you think, T?
I'm not sure I understand the question. Can you say it again?
He's saying, shouldn't we look at them a little different? So he's saying, shouldn't we look at Microsoft and Sony a little bit differently as far as RPGs go, since the Wii U is done and those systems still have plenty of time?
Yeah, I guess I'm confused at what he means by look at them differently as opposed to,
like, I guess because you were saying like, well, Microsoft and Sony don't have RPGs out You know, they don't have many RPGs out, and yet they're still going. Whereas in Wii U, it's over.
Right.
You know, so he's saying, shouldn't we look at them differently? It shouldn't be the same.
I mean, I guess, but as far as I know, they don't have them coming. Like that was another thing. We were talking about games that are not coming.
Well, they do, but you mean first party, right?
First party is what I meant.
Well, they have Horizon and they have Scalebound, so
that's not first party, but
Horizon,
party? I think Scalebound.
Scalebound. Well, I mean, it's published by Microsoft. I mean, it's the same. I consider Bayonetta first party.
Consider that first party? I don't consider Bayonetta first party.
Oh, I totally consider it first party. It's published by Nintendo. It's exclusive.
It's to me, it's almost like a rare situation where it's like, you know, they put in the work.
First party
work in, but
first party game. Nintendo's giving them the money,
all right.
they cutting the check, bro.
What second party? Second party doesn't exist anymore? Or?
What the hell is second party?
Well, that's all I used to hear on N64 was Rare being a second party developer, which was they made the game and Nintendo funded it.
Yeah, I always considered Rare like Banjo because I was like, well, that's just Nintendo's game. It's first party. It's a first party game. It's Nintendo box. It's Nintendo. They solely on Nintendo. It's their game. I always considered that first party. From my understanding, like from what I understand, second party is like when you contract out games, I guess, to make on the system. So, for instance, like next level games. So it's pretty much what you're describing, like with Rare, you know. But Nintendo, I don't know if Nintendo actually owns Next Level. Like they actually had stake in Rare, you know. Yeah. I'm not sure if I know Nintendo has a fat contract with Next Level to make just Nintendo only games for a certain amount of time, because you know even throughout the Wii, Next Level made a lot of Nintendo Wii games, but they also made a lot of games for different companies too, you know, like Microsoft and Sony, like they made games on other systems too. So, right. But at this point now, like Next Level is like exclusive to Nintendo from a contract, but I don't think Nintendo purchased them, you know. So
yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah, and from that's my understanding, that's what a second party was like when you do stuff like that. But so I guess what you're saying, yeah, I mean, technically, I guess Bayonetta could be second party, but I always consider them like if you're publishing it, like that's your first party game. If it's not going anywhere else, you know, yeah, it's your game. Like Tomb Raider, I wouldn't consider like no way, even though Microsoft is.
Aren't they publishing it?
They are publishing it, but we know it's coming to, you know.
Yeah, that was another lie too. they were talking about how it was gonna be, you know, Phil Spencer had said that there's no way they're gonna, you know, have other companies benefit from, you know, basically, you know, saying that Tomb Raider wasn't going anywhere else.
Well, a year later, but still, yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. Well, I think we answered that question for you, Capable Ty. Here's another question from Capable Ty. Francis, do you think of this, or wait, Francis, what do you think of this suggestion? Making it against the rules on PE, repeatedly bash Nintendo, MS, Sony, third parties. This kind of behavior is easy to spot when what should be positive article turned into negative for no logical reason. Well, to answer your question, Capable Ty, it is against the rules to do that. Now, are they being enforced like they should? No. And look, I need to do a better job of enforcing the rules, but there's so much in your life that you do, and you get so tired of having to constantly, you know, do this, and then you get troll YouTubers making videos whenever you do enforce the rules, and then it just makes things worse, and then your own fans turn against you. Then it's like sometimes you just want to say, just hey guys, just relax, you know, and give people multiple chances after multiple chances, and that's really what I've been doing with people, giving them chance after chance after chance and after chance, and hope they stop. And it's worked with some, it doesn't work for others. So that's all I'm going to say, because I don't want people, stupid YouTubers, making stupid videos that I'm this crazy dictator, okay? So that's the reason why I don't always enforce everything like I should. So yeah, that's that. I'm pretty sure all of you guys know what I'm talking about. Right, Mizzah Tee?
Yeah. Agreed.
Scoot about. No, I'm joking. Next question comes from Jay Turner. How long do you think it will take for Resident Evil 2 remake to be completed?
I don't care. I don't want any more freaking remakes. I've had enough. I don't know why people are getting excited. Like
a year and a half. I'm gonna guess.
I'm sorry.
Resident Evil 2 is one of the most they want it, man. They want it. They don't want those blocky PS1 graphics. You know?
Help me understand. Like, that's why we don't get more games. Like, you know, I said this before. That's why we don't get more games like Codename Steam because more people went out and bought freaking Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask.
Well, it's unfortunate that Codename Steam looks like a game that me and you made. Like, that's
come on.
Why did me and you make Codename? Secret, guys. Nintendo fans made Codename Steam.
Come on.
Nintendo fans that really wanted a game made Codename Steam.
The game is awesome. Come on.
The art style in that game is just.
What's wrong with the art style? It's
other than the fact that they look
comic book style,
they look
cel shaded.
They look stupid.
They look stupid. Come on.
Do they not look? Did you not hear people complaining that they look stupid? That the art style looks stupid.
Well, they complained that the art style looks stupid on Wind Waker too. I don't care what people say.
But
play the damn game, and then
when the game came out, it looked beautiful. Like Codename Steam, no matter which way you cut it, it's not a beautiful looking game. It looks way worse than Wind Waker on the GameCube, does it not?
I wasn't trying to compare it to Wind Waker. I was just making a point that people saying something looks stupid doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
and
also I think reviews hurt the game too.
Well, yeah, I'm sure that because people, because of the way it looked, basically it was a over the shoulder kind of third person action look, but it's an RPG. It is a turn based situation.
RTS.
Yes, it's RTS. That's the
strategy RPG. Strategy RPG. It's a strategy RPG.
Yeah, it's a hybrid.
Yeah, it's a hybrid. Yeah, you're right. It's a hybrid.
And maybe that hurt it more, but it's still an awesome game.
You know what hurt it the most?
I think that hurt the reviews more. I should say.
You know what hurt it the most? It's not Fire Emblem. So let's move on to the next question. It's not Fire Emblem.
It's not Fire Emblem.
Because everybody's waiting for that. That game is going to sell gangbusters in North America.
I hope.
It's going to do very well. Like it's going to do very. I already know it is. I think Smash Bros. Really Smash Bros. Alone helped sell Fire Emblem Awakening like big time. Like, so I mean, Fire Emblem Awakening sold real well. Fates has online multiplayer 5-on-5.
Yeah.
What the hell? That's awesome. Like, that is so awesome. But anyway, let's move on to the next question. Okay. So is Zelda U your most anticipated game next year, or is it something else? It's my third behind Uncharted 4 and Horizon Zero Dawn. What's your most anticipated game next year? Zen? Sorry, not Zen.
Easy.
T?
It was my most anticipated game this year, so it's gotta be
Zelda.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Zelda all day. I mean, basically, there's not much more we know about the Wii U for next year, so it has to be. It has to be Zelda.
My most anticipated,
other than Shin Megami Tensei.
Oh yeah, Shin Megami Tensei. I'm looking forward to that. My most anticipated is probably Zelda Wii U, just because of the mysteriousness behind the title. Like NX, Wii U. What is it going to be? Dual? Like what features?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd probably say, like the fact that it got delayed, it makes it even more exciting, for me. Yeah. The fact that it's next year. So
it's going to be an awesome game. So
it's going to be freaking.
Sure it's going to be phenomenal. So that's helps the anticipation. It just sucks that we don't know when it's coming or where it's coming.
Yeah, it's going to be groundbreaking. I think it's going to be it's going to be amazing. Okay, next question comes from AJ34. How is this holding companies to different standards? Sony and MS don't make RPGs, but they at least have them on their consoles. How is Nintendo not to blame for not having RPGs on their consoles in some way? So he's looking at it very black and white.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say that they're not somewhat to blame. Obviously, they have some stake in what's put on their console. So if whatever's happening with Sony and Microsoft is beneficial in whatever way, for those companies to put their games there, then you have to hold Nintendo to some degree at fault. But I feel like again, maybe it's me in a Nintendo bubble, but I feel like some of the games would do better on Wii U even than they would on Xbox One. Some of those RPGs.
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah, I mean, like what's the game? Kingdom Hearts.
Oh,
I mean, why is that going to Xbox One? Come on, like that's not going to do well there.
I just think it's really just architecture. I think that's just based on what Square Enix is saying. But then who knows whether?
Okay, well then that's what you hold Nintendo to. That's what you hold their fault to if that's the case.
I mean, because third parties, we all know third parties are somewhat. I mean, I wouldn't say lazy, but they want to be able to make these huge games and dump the files on your PS4. I mean, I'm almost out of space, and I don't even have any games.
Yeah. I got 5 games on Xbox One and 90%.
I mean,
hard drive. It's a joke.
These developers, and you cannot do that on Wii U. Like you just can't.
Yeah,
you can't do that.
I'm sure they don't like that.
Yeah, and they don't like the fact that the Wii U only has a 32 gigabyte, and some of them are only 8. Like they don't like that at all, because that can cut sales from them, because they're like, okay, well, we have to maybe hope that these people have hard drives. So I think that was one of the things, at least from what I spoke to a developer that will not be named, that pissed him off when he found out about the Wii U. He was mad about that.
You blame them both, because we look at it as that seems to be lazy to me, and
it's a mixture.
But for them, that's apparently a cost thing.
It's a cost thing. I mean, they can make it for Wii U, no doubt, but it's just like, do they want to do that? And a lot of them will be like, no, we don't. So, I mean, Pete Hines.
I grew up in an era where we got games that were completely different, had the same name, but they were completely different games.
Yeah, those days are over, man.
Those days are gone. So I blame third parties for that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of blame. I think there's a blame to go around.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try to go through some of these just because I don't want to take too much of your time. It's pretty late in the East. I'm
good.
You're good?
Yeah.
Well, I'm still gonna. Well, I need to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay.
I'm older than you, but it's all good.
Yeah, you're an 80s action star. I know you're older than me. I was born in the 80s. Okay, so we have one here from King Grimpachi. Yo, I got two. I like that beginning. Yo, what's up, King Grimpachi? The king. I got two questions. One, Mizzah Tee, are you still going to do your Mario video? This dude is
killing me with this Mario video stuff, man. Like, dude, beating Mario 1 is nothing to me. It's like nothing, and that's why that's one of the reasons I don't feel like sitting down and going through it, because to me it's nothing. But
he's not
the logistics of it. I know he's not. His friend, the guy who initially wanted me to do it, he's been hounding me too on my Facebook.
He's not letting you go. And also he said he has another.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna have time where I'm just like, all right, let me run through this game to get these dudes off my back. But the thing is, it's a logistics thing too. It's like I have to capture it, and hours of HD footage, because I'm going to be doing through my Wii U, I'm sure. So I have to deal with that, and my hard drive space. So I make videos too. So all that stuff is sitting on my hard drive. I have to clean it out and send it somewhere else. So it's a logistics thing. It's not about me being able to do it, because it's nothing. I beat Mario so many times. It's
your Johns / excuses are sickening. Flat out sickening. Like Jesus, man. Holy smokes. Just say you don't want to do it and let's move on.
Oh, I want to do it just to, I guess show them I can do it.
The Johns are real.
Big deal, but
are the Johns real here? Okay.
It's gonna happen before the summer's out. How about that?
Don't commit to that.
I can commit to that.
Summer's almost over, bro.
It's only what? Yeah.
Okay.
I know. We're September something. But it's only a playthrough of Mario is if you go straight through. I think that's the thing. He wants me to go straight through with no warps, which is fine. And I think that'll be 2 hours maybe.
So what about your picture? He says that your picture is really disturbing. So who gave you that idea for that picture that you have?
The one I'm using right now?
Yeah.
Oh, it's from Devil's Third. It's one of the villains.
Yeah, but it's disturbing. Well, why did you
I just did it for fun because I wanted to mess with people's heads.
Okay. So let's move on to this question here. Capable Tie 7. Do you think Wii U being pretty much half generation behind specs wise will become a huge advantage if the NX is half generation ahead of the PS4 and Xbox One? Okay, so very theoretical question here. I don't think the NX is a half generation ahead of PS4 and Xbox One. Just based on from what I've heard, and I'm not going off of Tamaki's rumor, by the way. I think the NX it's a budget line Xbox One. It's as much bang for your buck Xbox One. It's definitely not going to be $300. It's not going to be $400. It's going to be cheap. Like Wii cheap, Nintendo is not going to put out a $300 to $400 system after their first $300 to $400 system failed. So I don't know. I kind of busted your whole question with that, just because I don't believe that Nintendo's going to put out a half generation ahead. I mean, the system would have to at least be $300. I mean, minimum, minimum $300. I don't think Nintendo's going to put on another $300 system. I just don't think they're going to do it. Nobody's going to buy it, even if it was more powerful. You know, like only Nintendo fans are going to buy it. Maybe some other people will buy it. Maybe, but it's such a huge risk to do that. You know, especially after your last system. You know, people are, well, you didn't support that system. What's going to happen with this one? You're going to do the same thing? You know, is it going to be dead in 3 years? You know, or 4 years? What do you think, T?
NX or Wii U?
NX. Like, if it's a half generation ahead, do you think that's even a possibility?
I mean, it's a possibility. I don't think it will be. I don't think it has to be. I think, you know, I feel like the Xbox One and PS4 are kind of just getting started, and I don't think that Microsoft or Sony want to start working on another console because consoles are expensive. They, you know, there's a lot of shady numbering going on, but I don't think they've made any money off these consoles yet. They just started making money off of their last gen consoles and in the last couple of years of them. So it's like, why, you know, I don't think, you know, NX would force them to, you know, put out another console. Like the Wii U did, basically. I think the Wii U forced their hand at least a year.
Yeah, Wii U definitely forced them. Sony, Shu Yoshida, and what's his face, Kasurai were like, "What are you doing, Nintendo?"
yeah. So I mean, if it's at least on par, and the architecture is similar, I think that would be leaps and bounds. I mean,
the architecture is similar. Nintendo, you know, the funny thing, Nintendo's playing this. I think Nintendo's playing this one safe but crazy at the same time. There's going to be some crazy things with the NX, but the architecture is. I think Nintendo has just said, okay, third parties, you kind of win somewhat, you know, with the architecture. In my opinion, that's what I think they're going to do. I will say this, like when Nintendo announced that, you know, the Wii U is coming, Don Matrick was like, okay, boys. Call up NFL. We need goodness gracious. Call, oh no. We need to get our deals. Oh my god, the TV, HBO Go. Oh, there's so many. Damn it.
Down pronto.
They're like, hello, this is HBO calling. It's Don Matrick. He's like, hello, we need you.
Oh man, yeah, because TV could have been so much. Nintendo TV could have been so much better. But Microsoft wasn't having that, man.
It's a revolutionary way to watch TV. And you know what? Nobody will use it. Not even us. And you know what?
I used it for sports, and that was about it. I didn't use it for anything else.
And then the service is, and then we're done.
And then we're gone. And it's gone.
Oh god, Nintendo, fold your cards, player. Fold.
They just be experimenting with a lot of stuff and not seeing it through sometimes.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they just gonna keep on betting. Okay, so Zen says that he'd like to talk to you face to face one day.
Sure, no problem.
Cool.
We'll set it up.
Great. It's good to hear. I like to have my PE network members talking to each other.
I think maybe it was a comment or something. I said we should do that.
Yeah.
It was a while ago.
Yeah, you guys should. It would be good to watch. So Retro Gaming Tube, which is AKA Sean Long, Retro Gaming Tube 85. Make sure you check it out on YouTube. Subscribe. Yo. Yo, that's the new word. You got to start out every video with yo. Retro VGS hits Kickstarter September 4th. Hyped? Bruh.
All kind of nostalgia up in that thing, man.
I'm hyped for you because that gives you something to do. It gives you content. So I'm hyped for you, man. Like, it's no joke, really. I'm like, whenever something retro that's cool comes out, I'm like, can't wait to what Sean Long says about it, you know? Because like, I'm hyped for you. I'm not as big of a retro guy, but I'm hyped whenever I love retro. Like for instance, like I love like Pat the NES Punk, you know?
Yeah.
And his series, like what is his series that he does? The NES stuff that he does. The 80 years.
Yeah.
Like, I love that stuff. Absolutely. I love like your video on the Sega Saturn. One of my favorite all-time videos. Like, love it.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. No joke. I love retro, like history. I love the history more than I actually do like actually playing the games. You know? Outside of like Secret of Mana, Chrono Trigger. Like I can play those.
I guess you're gonna love that Rise and Fall of Dreamcast video then.
Ooh, yes. When it comes out, yes.
Exclusive.
Got him. All right, yeah, but I'm hyped for that, man. Hyped for that. Now that you just dropped that knowledge on us, okay, we're gonna pick a couple games here. Oh, and Andre Walker, dude, I need to find your email. Can you re-email me? Because I don't know. Like, he won the Splatoon contest. Andre, if you're listening, please re-email me because I can't find your damn email, dude. And my email is just there's just too many.
Is that Julicron?
Yeah, Julicron. Like,
okay.
he won the Splatoon deal. Like, I need to send him his amiibo, and I can't find his damn email. So email me again with your information so I can get that out to you. It's in a box just sitting here. Anyway, let's see here. Trying to pick out some ones that were good. Okay, so here's one. I can give you guys a scoop. Francis, you said that you're really into Smash right now. Any plans on attending tournaments? There are probably tons of them in your area. Yes, so I've been practicing. I've been playing. And I hope that I can attend Paragon. That's a big one, you know. And not only am I hoping to attend Paragon, I'm taking down Zero. No, I'm joking. I'm gonna two stock Zero. No, I'm joking. Don't get mad at me. Yeah, I'm hoping to attend Paragon in Los Angeles. I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to play. So I mean, I attend some in my area, but the local scene sucks here in Bakersfield. Like, it's not up to par. Like, but in Los Angeles, which is very close, that's where I can find some competition because I've won like 5 of them here in my town. Like, the people here they're good, but they're not good enough. If I'm winning, they're not good enough, you know? Like, the first one I went to, I won. Like, that's a problem. You know, if I went to Xanadu, you know, which is VG Boot Camp, if I went to Xanadu in Maryland or in Virginia, which doesn't even have like top players, you know, I'd get bodied. I wouldn't make it to stream, you know? So yeah.
Yeah, don't even ask me. I'm average to good to maybe.
So. King Grumpachi says he's just playing with you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he's I think he's just playing with you, but he's not at the same time.
Yeah, he's kind of playing with me.
he's like, I'm just playing, but man, I really want you to do that video though, bro.
I mean, it'll be good for me, you know, something to throw up on my channel too. So
here's another Smash question. How much of a difference is there in online Smash for you with and without Ethernet connection? I'm considering getting Ethernet for all 3 of my consoles at once, particularly for Smash and Splatoon. Splatoon, I don't think it's that big of a deal because it's just like server based. But with Smash, it's peer-to-peer.
Yeah.
So I would say that Smash, it's very important that you have an Ethernet cable plugged in. Like,
found that bad boy. The Wii one works, right? The Wii
one works. I have a Wii one. There is no Wii U one, so
right.
You can even use like a stock one. You know, that's just like a USB Ethernet port. It doesn't have to be a Wii branded one.
Oh, you can use it through your USB too.
Yeah, you can just use a USB one that anybody makes. There's ones that like people say, "Hey, get this one." Like, if you go online and just search like best Wii Ethernet cable, you know, and you'll find stock ones from Amazon for like $9.99 that people say are really good, works just fine on Wii and Wii U. So
that's cool.
Yeah, I get that because you're gonna run into some lag, man, online, especially one-on-one.
Be lagging it up sometimes.
Yeah. So let's see here. This one comes from oh no, wait, not this one. No, we're not gonna answer this one. We're gonna answer this one. I meant to click this one. Oh wait, no, I didn't mean to click that one. Let's see. Okay, this is from Andre. There we go. Oh, no, this is, damn it, I don't know how to read. Big D Rules 95. Do you think that Nintendo will have a concept for NX inspired by N64 expansion pack, even the Sega 32X, to limit the idea of console generations? Yo. This, I think this might, because like Nintendo has to be somewhat worried about the PS5, right? Or like Xbox, next Xbox. Like, what if they did that? What if they say, hey, well, we have this thing when those systems do come out that can help a little bit before we drop our next system? Like, what do you think about that, T? Is that something that could work?
I'm sorry, what'd you say? Can you hear me? Are you there? Oh, crap. We broke up. I couldn't hear you. And I'm froze right now, but I'm still showing live. I don't know what's going on. No connection. We're talking about lag, and now we lost. It's like we're losing this connection. You there? You there? Francis? Oh, no. Am I by myself? This will be hilarious if I'm sitting here yelling hello on a live stream to myself. I'm still getting levels, so people out there, this is Mizzah Tee, folks, and I don't know what's going on. Let's try it again. Damn. You there? I can't hear you. I don't know if you can hear me. Here we go. Let's start the show. We started it, now we're dead. I don't know what's going on. If you're listening, you can hear me. I'm sure this is flipping hilarious. Hello? You there? Francis? Furious Francis, is that you? Are you there? Da, 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 da. Shooby-dooby-doo. Dooby-dooby-dooby. Dooby-dooby-doo. Dooby-dooby. Dooby-doo. All right, so it seems like I'm still on the live stream. I don't know if Francis is gonna come back in. I didn't hear that last question, but I'm sure you guys can all agree that I owned Francis in this debate. No, I'm playing. But yeah, I wonder where he's getting these questions from. I guess he has them on his Hangout or something. Or not his Hangout, his Google Plus page, or I don't know where you guys send in your questions. But so I can't even answer those. I'm flying solo right now. Francis has got that bargain bin internet connection over there on the west side. So I don't know what's going on. But yeah, this has been a discussion of a bunch of stuff with Francis of Player Essence and Mizzah Tee fools. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna try to hang in a little longer to see if Francis can hop back in. But like I said, he's got that. This is kind of hilarious. Come on, Francis, get back in here. Let's see. Did you guys? Oh no. So none of the questions are on the comment section. I'm trying to hang in. I'm hanging tough. But I got things to do, fools. It's 12:30 almost here, a.m. on the east side. So, but you know, I'm a night owl. I do most of my work at night, so. Okay, so I'm listening to myself on the stream, so I know it's still live. So this makes it even weirder because all the little stupid crap and humming I just did is is being recorded and it's live. So that's funny. And there's actually 24 people still watching this. I don't know why y'all are watching this right now. You got even less to do than I do. Being 12:30 a.m. All right. I can do some improv. Yeah. No, I can't. I'm just kidding. I could do a couple of dances, but you guys can't see it, so I won't do that. I could sing, but I won't. I think Francis forgot to pay his bill. Oh, okay. Thanks, King. King just let me know that I could click the Q&A. I can do that? I didn't know I can do that. Where is that, King? Oh, there it is. Never mind. I see it. All right. Thanks for that. So let me